What is going on, everybody? My name is Dakota and welcome back to kotascologne. First and foremost on this video, happy Independence Day to everyone out there. Happy 4th of July. What kind of 4th of July video would we have if we weren't wearing the America Fit? So went ahead and thought I'd get a little bit festive with this one today. And also the kind of hard part about this video is I kind of thought to myself, like, what would the forefathers wear? What would you wear on Independence Day? And then it dawned on me that it was probably mostly black powder, steel, wood, stuff like that. So that just don't sound too appealing. So what we're going to go with today is instead the new 2025 release of the Coach Black EDP. Let's get into it. I just got my hands on this fragrance. This fragrance has been out for a couple months, but let's be real here. It is a Coach. I am absolutely not paying retail for this. I figured eventually some of the discounters would start getting this in, and that is exactly what happened. So what we can do is we can go ahead and jump into the aesthetics of this bottle. Go ahead and look at this real quick. It's just midnight blacked out. It actually looks pretty good. Kind of hard to see that. Like, it kind of was surprising to me how dark the bottle was. And then this one is the black and gold accents. To me, just looks really good. But while I'm this close to the camera, I'm going to go ahead and show off the atomizer. And the atomizer, honestly, is just okay. Not a whole lot comes out, not a big burst, not a wide burst. Probably your most painfully average atomizer you could get on a fragrance, but that's fine. It's a $60 fragrance. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put a few there on the skin, and we're going to talk about what you get when this fragrance gets in the air. And I got to say, when this fragrance gets in the air, it kind of surprised me a little bit, given how the notes went, given how I thought this was supposed to be like a much kind of darker, richer version of their original Coach. It's not really what I got at all. To me, when this gets in the air, I get kind of a light, a little bit like a fruitiness. I get a citrusness. I get like a little touch of wood. But the thing that surprised me the most was kind of how light and airy this was. That kind of took me for a little bit of a spin there. But I think the main thing I get off this is like, it's mostly kind of a fresh citrusy with little touches of wood, little touches of floral. So honestly, the opening on this, not bad. So now what we can do is we can kind of touch on the notes a little bit. The top notes on this is going to be cardamom and bergamot. And honestly, that's kind of what gives it a little bit of that fresh citrusy twist. Gives it a little bit of like a light florally feel as well. The middle notes on this are going to be cedarwood and geranium, with the base notes of this drying down to a leather and a vetiver. And honestly, it doesn't take long for some of that vetiver to come out, just a little bit. Note-wise, this kind of reminds me more of the original like Coach Platinum EDP. So I feel like they went down a similar wheelhouse, this one being a little bit fresher, a little less sweet, kind of. To me, it definitely shares an eerily closeness to that. But as this gets drawn down just a little bit more, we can go ahead and talk about the price, performance, and the availability. So availability-wise, this should be making it to every store near you. It's also coming to most discounters near you now. Like I said, I got this one off of Joma's shop. Honestly, not too bad. I think I paid $57 for this. It took 2 or 3 days to get. Their shipping's been a little bit better lately. I will say that about Joma. As of the past few fragrances I bought from them, the shipping has really been better. So kind of got to quit hating on them just a little bit for that. As far as the price goes, as I touched on, $57 for this. I want to say retail, this is $110. Obviously, I highly recommend staying away from the retail route, especially when it comes to a fragrance like this, because you knew it was going to be a matter of time before this one just kind of gets cheaper. Honestly, I give it a few months, it'll probably be down there in that $40 to $50 range. And with that out of the way, we can touch on the performance a little bit. And honestly, this one was, it's a little bit of a letdown, if I'm being honest. So for this one being the EDP, I honestly feel like this may be one of the worst performing ones they have. Scent quality is very good. The scent of this one is very good, but the performance just doesn't really do much for me. The sillage was at like 2 foot, maybe a little less. The projection was okay, it was around that 1 foot range, and the longevity honestly was about that 6-7 hour range, which I guess for a Coach that is kind of expected. I think the best performing Coach I have is Coach Green. That one I normally get somewhere around that 7 or 8 depending on how heavy I spray. This one, trying to stay in like that 6-7 spray range, gets me to about that 7 hour range. I've worn this one twice since I got it, and both times that's when it felt like it truly turned into a skin scent that you just really had to search for. So now what we're going to touch on a little bit is going to be the deeper parts of the Drydown. And honestly, it does not take long for this fragrance to get there. For me, this fragrance takes about 30 minutes to get all the way into the deepest parts of the dry down to where it kind of really has no change past that. So when you hit that point, the vetiver really starts to come out in this. To me, I don't really get a whole lot of leather off this. Usually leather is one of those things that jumps off my skin. I don't really have that with this one. To me, this is just kind of a vetiver bomb, especially once it gets all the way into the base of it. Some of the cedar wood starts to peek out a little bit, but it starts to really become a background note. The leather, if you look for it, it's kind of there. It's not really anything that's dominating on this fragrance. The star of this show, when it dries all the way down, is actually a very nice vetiver. I'm normally not the biggest lover of vetiver fragrances, but I gotta say this one is pretty good for what it is. But even though for it being similar to another, this thing still is very good, especially for where I'm going to want to wear this one the most. And for me, that is going to be a fall fragrance. Now, I realize we are in the middle of summer, and I kind of have a bad habit of reviewing new fall and winter fragrances in the summer, so forgive me on that one just a little bit. But yeah, I gotta say, as a whole, in the fall, this thing is probably going to be a staple for me, especially if you're looking for like a budget-friendly fall fragrance. This one is going to reach out to a lot of people, especially if you're someone who loves a little vetiver, a little earthy, maybe a little hint of mossy, because that's kind of what you get all the way in the dry down. Some of that spiciness falls back a little bit. It picks up a little undertone of earthy. To me, I get a little bit of like a mossy kind of vibe. Not real green, but just kind of like that good like herbal moss kind of. That I think that's what helps lead it to be more like a clean earthy vetiver than kind of one of those that kind of smells a little more dirty. But yeah, all in all, I feel like this fragrance it's not one that's going to blow you away. It's not something that's going to be just absolutely insane or masculine or anything like that. It's going to be one that's going to be a simple, safe reach, especially on a fall day where this one could potentially just be one of those easy, you don't have to think about it. You just want to smell good. You reach in, you grab something. This is going to smell rock solid and you can go about your day. And I feel like that's kind of where this one is really going to shine for me, is this is just going to be like a blind reach. If I don't know what I want to wear that day, I just want to grab something quick, simple, grab, put it on, run out the door. Everything about that just kind of fits where this fragrance wants to be, at least for me. So if I had to give this fragrance a rating right now, honestly, I'd put it somewhere in that 8, 8.5. Nothing about this fragrance really smells bad. The fragrance does smell just a little bit familiar. It's got a little bit of a mass appealing vibe to it. It's got a little bit of an edginess, but nothing that's going to be crazy at all. This would definitely be like the safe blind buy, which that kind of falls into Coach's wheelhouse. Their whole fragrance lineup is kind of built around good, clean, safe, cheap. I mean, really for the everyday consumer, this might be one of the better lines you could invest in, because you could probably get all 5 fragrances, at least the fragrances that are available right now from Coach. You could get the original black, blue, green, platinum, and this easily for less than $200. And hell, that'll hit you every season, every day, every event you could have. That hits all of them. So yeah, and that's why I say it's not going to be anything that's going to knock your socks off. But if you're just looking for old reliable, this one could fill that for you. But as I said, this is more of a fall and winter fragrance. I don't think this would do well in heat. I feel like this one would get sticky, kind of. I know that sounds weird, but I feel like this is one that when you sweat, it's going to get a little sticky. It's going to get a little stinky, and I feel like it's just going to probably really put you off from wanting to wear it more when the time arises. But I do think that is going to be enough yapping for today. Let me go ahead and get in on this one more time. That is going to be Coach Black. Just like I said, good, simple, reliable fragrance. Nothing too crazy, and just kind of like your everyday style of fragrance. But before I close out the video, I do want to say to everyone once again, happy 4th of July, Independence Day. Y'all be safe out there. Don't do anything stupid. Don't go missing fingers. Just don't do anything I wouldn't do, honestly. I mean, just have fun with it. Go out, enjoy some fireworks, try to live your best life. If you got the day off, absolutely enjoy your day off. I got to work today, but luckily for me, I'm going to be off before the fireworks show. So me, my fit, my wife, my daughter, my family, we can all go out and we're just going to enjoy some fireworks. So please, everyone out there, be safe and just have the best Independence Day you could possibly have. But now that I got that spoon, you know what, real quick, I ain't done it in a hot minute. If you want a sample of this fragrance, go ahead and leave me a comment on this video. I'll get 1 or 2 samples of this coming out. To get the sample, obviously, it's kind of like a giveaway thing. If you would, please subscribe. It's what helps the channel grow. Leave me a comment on this video. Maybe leave me a like on this video if you like me and my stupid fit. I kind of like it personally. But all you got to do, those few little things, after a couple days, I'll put your names in a roulette wheel and I'll get a couple fragrances coming out to y'all as a sincere thank you for putting up with me, my stupid antics, and the channel. But anyway, yeah, the outro is taking way too long. Sorry about that. Y'all have safe, be fun, do something crazy, but don't do nothing stupid. And that's going to be the last of my yapping. To all my fragrance friends out there, we will see all of you next time.